Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Donnie and you are watching Diamond Painting by Donnie. I am getting ready to start a new living room project because I finally finished my topsy-turvy. I'm not going to show it until it is actually framed. So at that point I will get to show it to you. Until then, I wanted to show you what I'm going to start. I've already kitted it up and I want to go ahead and start it with you and just show you another new tool. It's not really a new tool, it's just another version of a tool that I've already shown. So here is the diamond painting I'm going to be doing in the living room. As if you've been following my channel, you will know that this is the next one I said I was going to do, and this is from Staroar on Amazon. This is a 100% rhinestone diamond painting. If you look here at the key, you can see the DMC codes are not your normal DMC codes because, here, let's do it like this. These are rhinestone DMC codes. Now, I don't know if those are a universal code, but this is a good place to start for me. So when I go to put these away, I will be using these codes to go by when I put them away. Now, I typically don't have a place that I like to start on when I start my paintings. Sometimes I'll start at the top and sometimes I'll start at the bottom. And for this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and start at the bottom. But first, with staroar kits, she gives you a bunch of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cover off so that I can put these on. I have them in my, keeping them in here, and they got a little bit of fuzzies on them, which I don't want because I don't want that to get on the canvas. So this is going to be very dangerous. Actually, I'm not going to pull the whole thing off. I'm going to just do it a little bit at a time. So I'm going to do this real quick and then show you this tool. So let's go start there. And she gives you plenty of these. In fact, I think there may be more than I need. You don't really have to be exact on this. You can overlap because this is poured glue. It's not the type that obviously is a double-sided adhesive, so you're able to, you don't have to worry about there's not sticky on these things. So that's when overlapping gets you in trouble, is when you're overlapping it onto the painting before the sticky is actually put down, and then you get bubbles because you try to pull one side up and it comes up, the other side comes up with it. I mean, yeah, I could use parchment paper. I do like using the parchment paper because I can see through the canvas. I can see through the paper at what's underneath. I think this one's crooked. I'm going to line these up the best I can. Yeah, let's do this here. Redo this one. I don't have it down far enough. Okay, there we go. And these are really nice. I mean, they feel waxy on this side too. I don't think it would matter which side you used to put them down, because you're going to get the same stick either way. I just want to make sure that there's no gap between, I don't want any part of the canvas showing at all. And I'll probably do them in, I don't know, I'm still determining what I want to do as far as pulling one of these off completely and just doing that square when I'm working on it, or if I am going to go all the way across, not crossed. Okay, so this one's getting frustrating. I need to line it up better over here. And there. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. I mean, the thing about staroar, it's great because she understands. See, she's a diamond painter herself, and she understands what it's like to not like those clear covers. Not everybody does. Some people do. I personally don't like them because they don't easily fold, and they're really hard to get them out of the way. So there's just a tiny bit of adhesive showing at the top, but I don't think it's going to affect much, if anything. I'm just going to go this way. Yes, this is very exciting, isn't it? There's going to be a little gap either here or up here, so just pick your poison. And I'll do this one all the way down. And there we go. So now it's completely covered. But you know what the image is because you saw it. Alright, I'm going to tuck this underneath my... Alright. Now I'm going to work down here like I said, but I want to pull this towards me a bit so we can see each other. Okay. So now that I went through all that to cover this up, I'm going to fold this back. See, there is quite a bit of confetti in this painting because it's a stained glass painting, but this section down here is pretty, there's not a lot of color blocking because it's an area with a lot of colors. There's a lot of design down here. So I'm just trying, I always like to fold my paper up to the point where it's right above a line, so I'm not like in the middle of a line. It's always good to fold or use scissors to cut things because if you rip paper, your cover paper, little tiny fibers from that paper can get caught into your diamond painting, and then it can make it where they won't stick. Your drills won't stick to the canvas in that spot. So just use scissors. Or an X-Acto knife or something. Okay, so I've got an area exposed here. Now I got this new tool. I'm not sure. See, it's another mesh ruler. I've seen other people using these. I've had these sitting for a little while, but I've been working on a square, so I didn't have anything to try it on. Now, there are two different sizes of rulers. Mesh rulers, and mesh rulers can only be used on rounds. This is a little different, and this is just a little different method that you use for it. Let's see, this one is the 141. You're either going to get a 141 or a 140. So I'm just going to measure this to see if this fits. If not, I'll be using the other one. Let me see. Okay, and this lines up perfectly, so this is a 141 size canvas. How do you know? Well, there are instructions on how to do it. And I'll have to find that because I don't remember. I know you measure to a certain point, and if the last number is in between two of the symbols, then it's a 141. So I don't know. I'll have to find those instructions and let you know. So I'm going to start over here on the bottom right. So I have the 140 as well. and that won't fit on here because it won't line up that way. So this will be set aside. And this I am going to lay down over my canvas and line it up, make sure it's perfect. The numbers are perfectly inside each one of these circles. Now, it seems to be off just a little bit. It's not as far down as it should be. Laying it down is on the first row is going to be the hardest thing to do. After that, it'll be very simple because you'll have other rows to guide you. But the first row, being that there's nothing for it to lean against, so you know if you are getting it right. Actually, I'm going to start on this side because this seems to probably be an easier way to start. Okay, I'm going to get this first row up and down. I'm going to line that row up and press it down. And then I just need to make sure all the rest of these are centered in the holes. I'm just going by the very first row. Okay, so it all looks good. There aren't extra colors that shouldn't be in their circles. So, as you can see, I'm going to zoom you in because you probably can't see it very well. I don't have a light pad underneath here, so that's going to make it even harder. So I'm going to zoom, 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 and move it. Okay, as you can see, there are holes, and then there's not a hole. There's a hole, there's not a hole. So it looks like there's crosses throughout it. So the whole concept of this one is to just drill all the places where they are exposed through the grid, and then you take the grid off and you fill those other holes in. I don't know what the purpose is of that, but you know, it could be, you could use both at the same time, I think, because this one, it has, I mean, this, I think the reason being is this makes it a lot sturdier. This is very fragile because these could break very easily. Now, if they made one like, they could actually make one like this for squares. So I don't know, maybe they do have one for squares. That would be interesting because to make one for squares, you would have to have it where they were bumping up against each other, and this would allow for that. So I'm wondering if there is one out there. It would be really good to know. I'm just checking to see if this one is a 140 or a 141, and this is a 140. It doesn't say on the ruler itself, but I don't know if you can see that, but they do not line up. So it would be my other one, because I did buy 2 of each of these shapes. And here it is. This is my other one that I was doing, used the 140. So this is a 141. So I could actually use this on here, and I could do another complete, a few more rows at once. Although, you know, there's still this section over here that wouldn't be done. I don't even have a drill pin handy because they're all out in the living room, because I haven't diamond painted in here in quite some time. I do have my wheel, one of my wheels, but I'm not prepared to use that right now because this area is, like I said, way too much confetti to be using a wheel. So I'm going to I'll use multi-placers and I'll use single placers, but until I get more of an area that has color blocking, I'm not going to use the wheel. There's just way too little in that line to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare these two mesh rulers. Yeah. I was just making sure they lined up, which they do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill this area, do the diamond paintings in this area, and this area. And then when it's done, I will compare. I will come back on a video and compare to see which one works better, because I'm a little concerned with this, because I'm going to have to put the ones in the center. Maybe they'll click, maybe they will still be crooked, I don't know. So we'll just have to see how that goes, and you will see the result of that in this second part of this video. So when I come back, we will have the result of that, and I didn't even realize it, but you couldn't even see that I got the other mesh ruler set up right here. So I am now going to go out to the living room, and I'm going to diamond paint, and I will see you in a few seconds, but in actuality it'll probably be a day or two. So until the next half of this, I will see you soon. Okay, here we are now with this entire section finished. And yeah, Tesslynn's in here.
And click the notification bell.
Okay.
Okay. And click our video and click the thumbs up button.
Okay, they got it. Okay. So now, as you can see, I used the mesh ruler with the intermittent pieces, and I haven't taken it off yet. And this is the original one that I've used before, and I'm thinking I really would prefer to use this one, because I'm not too thrilled about having to place drills again to fill in these gaps after I take this one off. But let's see how it works out when pulling it off. I also placed drills in the area that didn't have a grid, and I didn't have too many issues keeping them straight, so I'm pretty happy with what I did here. But as you can see, there's going to be a big gap here as well as here, because I placed the drills up here along the edge. But I'm going to have to fill this in and this in, as well as all these. So let's see how easy this is to take off. Normally I need two hands when I do this one to push the drills in as I'm pulling it off, and I'm holding the camera with my hand, so I don't know how that's going to go. So let's see how this works. Okay. So far it's pretty easy getting it off. I'm just pressing it down as I pull it off, but it's very easy to pull up on this one. And it doesn't seem like I'm really having to push them in. Maybe the holes are a little bigger. Okay, there, I had to push one in right there. Let's get this in view here. I'm looking through the camera, and I'm not even looking at what I'm doing down here. So let's get you up here a little bit. Okay, so the only spot that's kind of difficult or a little needs some pressure is the end piece that's stuck on the canvas. And there we go. So this is what it looks like after you've pulled it off. As you can see, there is quite a bit for me to still fill in, but it does allow a bigger area to be done at one time. However, it is shorter than the one that's almost a foot long, and so I have a big gap here that I'll have to place them just like this here, unless I just stick this on top of it, but I'm not really wanting to do that. So you can see the design that it leaves when you pull it off, and so there are no two right next to each other that have to be placed. It's basically in the checkerboard pattern with a little extra, so it won't be hard to get it centered. But like I said, again, I'm gonna, because this is a highly confettied area, so I'm gonna have to pull out a bunch of different colors to fill in this area.
And we're having dinner already.
So let's pull this one off. Like I said before, I had to pull off. I had to use 2 hands, but maybe I can do it with one. See if I can get a fingernail to get underneath there. Okay, here we go. Get that edge up. Yeah, I am still having to push them in. It is tighter. A tighter fit on this one. So 2 hands are preferred, but since I've only got one, I'm having to just move it along with my thumb, or push it down with my thumb and move it along with my other fingers here. So it is possible to do it with one hand. It's just a little more tricky. And as you know, rhinestones are a bit bigger than regular rounds, so there might be a little bit more pushing that is needed. My finger's getting stuck up here in the undrilled area. Yeah, I'm in the living room, so I took my day off yesterday, which was Saturday, and I did this. I got this finished. But then today is Sunday, and I decided to sleep all day. And because I didn't have any pen orders that needed to be packed up or anything, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow to show everybody their orders, and they will be mailed out Tuesday. And that'll be everything that was ordered with the date of the 27th and earlier. Just a little update for those that are waiting for orders. Okay, this one doesn't want to go down, so I'm going to have to leave that one in there. See that one right there? It won't come up. It won't go through. So they're trying to be quiet in there. I am having issues with some of these drills, these rhinestones. They're losing the paint on the flat side. Well, obviously that's where the paint goes, but some of them are actually, when I go to pull my pin back up, it's leaving the paint behind and the drill's not staying down. So it's just on some of them, not all of them. That is an issue you will sometimes run into with rhinestones, and since this is a 100% rhinestone painting, you're going to have more of a chance of that happening. Yeah, some of these are really hard to get to stay through. And there's another one. This is really starting to hurt. Let me switch hands here, maybe. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it with my, I can't hold the, there we go. Let's see. Alright. Let's try doing it. Here we go. Wait, see, this one takes a lot more finesse to get it up. Especially with one hand. If with 2 hands, it's not so hard. Almost there. Oh, my painting's falling off the... Right before this video, I posted a video on how I set up my living room project, or do my living room project. So if you want to check that out, if you're curious how I actually do it in here. And I think I just need to get this end piece up and we're good. And there we go. Alright. And that is really stuck to it. Okay. So now I kind of move the canvas around. Let me put that back down. Alright, so that is what it looks like minus the one drill that wouldn't go through. Yeah, it was too big. So that's definitely one of those drills that is too big, that shouldn't have been, that I won't be using because it won't go through the grid at all. So the one was missing there, and then now I have to go back through and drill the rest of these to fill it in. So I'd rather stick with this one here, so that I can, even though it is a smaller amount, I'm able to actually move it more often, and not have to sit here and drill all these all over again. Plus this entire area right here would have to be drilled without the mesh ruler, unless I picked it up and moved it over and did it afterwards. This one, I will just do these ones by hand, and then I can move up. So that is the little demonstration of the differences between these two mesh rulers. This one and this one. This one I got on Wish. I got one of each size because you never know which size your diamond painting is going to be. So I got both sizes. They were around, I think, $8 each. And with shipping, because on Wish, you know, they get you in the shipping. And I got these on AliExpress. So I will leave a link to both of them if you are interested in trying either one. If this is something you're interested in doing, it's not my cup of tea, but it might be yours. I will leave a link to that as well for you guys. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about your choices here on these mesh rulers, since they are still pretty new to our community. And have fun diamond painting. I'll see you guys live tomorrow. And don't forget to always sparkle wherever you go and whatever you do. Take care, everyone.
And
bye.
At school, we're going to do Mind Spark Mystery Lab.
Yay.